What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the RDX Ballistic Ordnance Sound Simulator, or also known as the B.O.S.S unit. We're going to go through some of the functions of the unit and some basic disassembly and assembly for cleaning purposes. Stick with us. And as always, we have to thank our sponsors, which are who?
Zealot Operators.
Zulu Outdoor. It's an indoor store that's outdoor. So it's an indoor-outdoor store. We just want to say a big thanks to them. They're actually the Northeast distributor for the RDX B.O.S.S unit and also all RDX products. I do want to say that during the filming for the intro to this video, I was not wearing ear pro, mostly because I'm stupid. All right, you need to wear ear pro with this unit. There are many good options to wear if you don't like the over-the-ear muffs. I think Zulu Outdoor selling some of the earpiece ones. Those look pretty great. So, but you have to wear ear pro. This thing is loud, and you will damage your hearing. My ears are still kind of ringing from the intro, but mostly because I'm dumb. With that, let's jump into some of the features that the RDX B.O.S.S unit has built in. So one of the first things you'll notice with the B.O.S.S unit is that you got two buttons here, and these two buttons are kind of attached to the brains of the unit, okay? So some of the features that it has a God mode, okay? And basically a God mode means that you can just fire the unit without actually pulling the trigger on your gun. You just press and hold the up button, and you'll get a little red flashy light, and then if I press the bottom button, it fires the unit, okay? We've been using this a lot more for diagnostic, just figuring out if we wired it right. Speaking of wires, pay no attention to this guy here, okay? This is just a shoddy wiring job that I did because this is a system of PTW and there's not a lot of room inside for these wires. I'm sure if I'd have taken more time, I could have routed this better. This is not how your unit will look. This is just my impatience because this thing's so cool. All right, so now that it's still in God mode, if I just hit up one more time, that takes it out of God mode, and now it won't fire. So if you notice right here, you got two buttons with an up and a down arrow. These buttons are for a quick way to adjust your rate of fire. Every time you press a button, it either goes up or down by 10 rounds per minute with a maximum of 1,000 rounds a minute. So now another feature that RDX added through firmware to the B.O.S.S unit is a silent mode. You might be asking yourself, why? Why is there a silent mode on something that's supposed to be loud, right? So maybe you play at a field where you can't use this particular unit inside of buildings with roofs on it or whatever, okay? Or maybe you're in a situation where you're the only one who milsims hard enough, the rest of your team doesn't have B.O.S.S units, so maybe you don't want to give away your position just yet. So if you press and hold on the down button, you'll get a green LED. Now the unit is in silent mode, which means when I shoot my gun, it does not fire the B.O.S.S unit. And then when you want to take it out, you just press the up key, boom, and it turns the B.O.S.S unit right back on. So you can still remain stealthy if you want to be, but if your milsim is level 11, then you're just going to keep that baby on at all times. Next to the up and down arrow keys, you're going to see a little dial. The dial is used to regulate the air mixture between gas and air, okay? They've got a simple 1 through 9 configuration there. So you can, depending on the weather, you can kind of tinker with the gas mixture to make sure the B.O.S.S unit's running efficiently enough. I've been fairly lucky. I've kept mine on 5 this whole time, and it seems to work just fine. Another feature that the B.O.S.S unit has as well is inside the trigger guard for the 203, you've got a little dongle here. And this dongle works as it's another like safety for the B.O.S.S unit. It will not fire with the dongle out, but this is also where you can connect it via USB-C cable to a computer to access the firmware, and also you can check stats on your unit, for instance, round count, time between shots, and all manner of things. It's actually a pretty good tool. And you would stick that USB-C right in where this dongle goes. And then once the dongle's back in, it flashes, and now the unit should be working again. Also, when you connect it to the computer and you get inside the firmware, there's a special option for semi-auto only mode. We used that when we installed it in the Kythera to make sure that it only fires 1 shot per trigger pull. So now as you take a look at the B.O.S.S unit, you can see that it is the size of a full-size 203, which is done intentionally by RDX because of their military contracts, stuff like that. So in the front, you've got a cap with a screw, and then you've got your actual blast chamber with your firing sleeve over top of it, and this is where the actual combustion happens, right? So the brains tells the the reservoir to deliver a specific amount of gas into the blast chamber, if you will. When you pull the trigger, there's some little electronic spark that happens that creates the combustion inside the chamber, which gives you the audible sound. And then this sleeve rotates up and down to allow a new fresh mix of air. So disassembly of the B.O.S.S unit is really easy, especially for cleaning. You do need to clean this thing. It's not, you don't need to clean it like crazy, but you do need to clean it right. There is combustion happening in the combustion chamber, so there's going to be carbon buildup and whatnot. It's very simple to take out though. You need no tools to do it, which is fantastic. And all you're going to do is just unscrew this top cap here. You got a spring. That all comes out, and then your firing sleeve comes out. That exposes the blast chamber, and also this rubber gasket down here. You need to make sure that this is clean and also lubed properly. You can clean the chamber, you can clean inside your firing sleeve, and then assembly is just as easy as taking it apart and screw it back in. Bing, bang, bong. Bob's your uncle. You're ready to go play. So in terms of maintenance, beyond cleaning, you do need to lubricate the main seal down here. And what have we been using, Anthony? That's right. We've been using a little bit of Tech T. They do recommend a very thick grease. Tech T is doing all right. We should probably use a little bit of heavier of a grease, but it's working just fine. In terms of lubrication, you never want to go in dry. So you want to make sure you got a pretty decent amount of lubrication on that seal. You don't need to go crazy with it. You just need some on there. And I don't know, I probably had to lube it 2 or 3 times since I've had it. I've got well over 8,000 rounds on this thing so far. So now when you purchase your B.O.S.S unit, it's going to come with a couple things. Obviously, you're going to get the B.O.S.S unit. You're going to get an extra gasket for inside the blast chamber, and obviously the wiring harness. Now, they will ship with the aluminum firing sleeve. All right, so you're going to get a good rate of fire. You won't get the recoil impulse that you will with the steel firing sleeve, which we have right here. You'll have to purchase this separately. In terms of the gas you can use in this unit, you can use MAP gas, you can use propane, and you can even use green gas, okay? But when you're filling, you gotta make sure that you're filling the unit upside down. In this case, we have MAP gas, and there's a fill nozzle here, just like any green gas pistol. You wanna hold it in there for 5 seconds, and the trick is that you really wanna make sure that you get a little bit of the liquid inside the unit itself, and that'll make sure that you fire, you know, about 2,000 rounds. I'm actually getting more than that, but they're advertising 2,000 rounds. But if you were to fill it standing up, then all you would get is gas in here and no liquid, and you probably only get like 400 shots. So you got to make sure it's upside down and you're getting a little bit of liquid inside the reservoir. Lastly, when you get your B.O.S.S unit, you're going to get a little card, and you can register your unit for the warranty. The warranty is a 6-month warranty, and trust me, I've only had this for 2 weeks and I fired almost 10,000 rounds through it. So 6 months is plenty of time. If the unit is defective, it's definitely going to show up in that first 6 months. But don't worry, if it's after 6 months and something happens with the unit, we're going to carry all the replacement parts, and we're pretty well versed in these things right now, and we'll be able to take care of you. The other thing you get when you register is you get access to all of the documentation involved with the B.O.S.S system. It's pretty thorough. It goes over all the wiring diagrams. It goes over all maintenance. It goes over, you know, all the do's and don'ts with this unit. So I know what everybody's thinking, right? There's a lot of great airsoft products on the market, none quite like this that are going to change the way airsoft is played. But if you're going to spend $775 on a noisemaker, how reliable is it?
The late great Eminem once said, "If you can't handle me at my palms are sweaty, you can't have me at my mom's spaghetti."
Spaghetti's good. So right out of the gate, the B.O.S.S unit comes with an IP64 rating, which basically means it's good for rain, just don't dunk it in a bunch of water. Let's see. Also make sure you're wearing your pro. So don't worry about the dirt and the elements, right? If you're a man, you play airsoft outdoors, and this thing needs to be able to stand up to the rigors of that. Seems fine to me. So now we've done water, we've done dirt. What happens when you mix both of them? You get mud. Yeah, mud on my hands. I rest my case. So that's going to do it for a brief overview on the B.O.S.S system and a little bit of stress testing on it. Again, I've had this unit for a while, got about 8,000 rounds through it, and now I got to clean it because we put a bunch of mud in it. All right, so it's a pretty robust unit. You're definitely getting what you're paying for. It's amazing. RDX rocks. Also, pre-orders for the B.O.S.S unit go out June 24th. You can go through Zulu Outdoor, the Northeast distributor for RDX.